Okay, today we are going to continue our discussion of the parenting behavior rules. And we are going to start by talking about what are known as distraction displays. Now, if you were a bird and there is a predator around, what are you going to do? Well, for one thing, you're going to try to attract as little attention as possible, right? Because if the predator doesn't know you're there, it is not going to eat you. But sometimes certain species of birds do the exact opposite. When the predator approaches, they do their best to try to attract the attention of that predator. Now, why would they do that? Well, they do that to draw the predator away from their nest, away from their eggs or their young birds. And the behaviors that the bears engaging in to distract predator are called distraction displays. And there are a number of different kinds of distraction displays. Most of the time, when birds are engaging in distraction displays, they are going to be pretending either that they have injury, or that they are ill, or they are exhausted. Something like that makes the predator think, here is an easy meal. One pretty common distraction display was called the broken wing display. And in the broken wing display, the bird spreads and drags the wings or its tail. And while it does that, it slowly moves away from the nest, so it really looks like a bird with a broken wing. And these broken wing displays can be pretty convincing. Another version of this kind of distraction display is where the bird creating the same impression over a mouse or some other small animals that running around the ground. A good example of that kind of display is created by a bird called the purple sandpiper. Now, what the purple sandpiper does is when a predator approaches, it drags its wings, but not to give it the impression that its wings were broken, but to create the illusion that it has a second pair of legs. And then it raises its feathers, so it looks like it got a coat fur. And then it runs along the ground, swirling left and right, running around on little rocks and sticks. And as it goes along, it makes a little squeezing noise. So from a distance, it really looks and sounds like a little animal running along the ground trying to get away. Again, to the predator, it looks like an easy meal. Now, what's interesting is that birds have different level of performance and these distraction displays. They don't give their top performance, their prime time performance every time. What they do is they save their performance, their most conspicuous and most risky display, for the time just before the baby birds become able to take care of themselves. And the time that way because that's when the greatest investment in parenting their young. So they're not going to put their best performance just after they read their eggs because they haven't to invest that much time and energy in parenting. The top performance is going to come later. Now you have some birds that are quite mature and quite capable almost as soon as they hatch. In that case, the parent will put on the most conspicuous distraction display just before the baby hatch. Because once the baby pitcher hatches, they can pretty much take care of themselves. And then you have other birds that are helpless when they hatch. In that case, the parents will save the best performance until just before the babies get their feathers.